textbooks. In class 8, you have two textbooks to purchase. One is the main textbook, another one is the supplementary textbook. The name of the main textbook is Honeydew and the name of the supplementary textbook is It So Happened. You have to purchase these two textbooks or you have to download these two textbooks to study English in class 8. If you can't download the textbooks online from NCERT website, I have given link in the description box, so you can go to the description box and you can select the link and you can download the PDF files without any kind of problem. Now second thing is your split up syllabus. The split up syllabus is also given in the description box. You can easily download the split up syllabus for class 8 English in the description box below. We are going to complete the syllabus either in online mode or in offline mode according to the split up syllabus given by or framed by Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Third point is regarding your examination. And you have to appear periodic test 1, periodic test and half year examination and then the sessioning examination, and you have internal assessment for 25 marks in each and every subject. In English, I am going to assess in 5 areas to give you 25 marks for internal assessment for the first quarter as well as for the second quarter. Before we start the lesson number 1, let me ask you a few questions. The first question is, can you tell me the names of most important festivals for Hindus? Yes, come on, tell me. Yes, Diwali, famous festival. Any other festival? Yes, Sankranti or Pongal. So we have two festivals for Hindus. Can you quickly tell me the important festivals for Muslims? Yes, try. Yes, Ramzan is a major festival for Muslims, correct? Yes, Bakrid is also a major festival. Now question number 3, can you tell me important festivals or major festivals for Christians? Try. Yes, Good Friday is also a major festival. Try. What is the most important festival for Christians? Yes, you got it. Christmas. Christmas is a major festival for Christians in this world. But can you tell me what is the speciality of Christmas? But what generally kids expect on the day of Christmas? Yes, you are correct. Gifts. Can you tell me the name of the person who give gifts on the day of Christmas? Yes, your answer is correct. Santa Claus. What is the name of the person? The name of the person who gives gifts on the day of Christmas is Santa Claus. So Santa Claus gives gifts on the day of Christmas. So the name of the first lesson is the best Christmas present in the world. Now let us know who is giving the gift and who is receiving the gift in the story. But this is going to be the best gift in somebody's life. As I am teaching this lesson through this YouTube video, if you have any doubts, you can leave your doubts in the comment section below. Now let me give you the gist of the story very quickly so that you can understand. Then you can go for reading the text next. So in this story, the author purchased a roll-top desk and he brought the roll-top desk to his house. He found some damages to the roll-top desk, so he wanted to repair the roll-top desk. When he pulled the roll-top desk drawer, to his surprise, he found one black tin box inside with a message. Here the part 1 ends. In part 2, out of curiosity, author reads the letter written by Jim McPherson to his wife Mrs. Coney. Actually, in the letter, Jim McPherson promised his wife Mrs. Coney that he would definitely return from the battlefield and he would rejoin with Mrs. Coney on the day of Christmas. Jim McPherson from the battlefield had written a message or sent a message or left a message in the tin box addressing to Mrs. Coney and promising to Mrs. Coney that he would definitely return to meet Mrs. Coney on the day of Christmas. Jim McPherson wrote this letter next day after Christmas in 1914. In part 2, Jim McPherson explained to his wife Mrs. Coney about the condition of the battlefield where English army and German army are fighting. But on the day of Christmas, to his surprise, German soldiers invited English soldiers to have a party. They joined together, forgetting about the differences, forgetting about the animosity between these two countries and the rivalry between these two countries, and they had a party. In the party, German soldiers offered German special drink to English army. When Jim McPherson interacted with the German officer, they both liked playing football. Suddenly somebody brought a football and they had a wonderful football match between English soldiers and the German soldiers. After completion of the match, the soldiers returned to their barracks and they expected that the war would end and bring peace, and Jim McPherson expected that the war would end and he might leave the battleground and he can rejoin with Mrs. Coney. Here the part 2 ends. In part 3, when Arthur read the letter written by Jim McPherson to his wife Mrs. Coney, he felt guilty and he wanted to find who is this Mrs. Kenny. He wanted to meet Mrs. Kenny personally and he wanted to pass this message or letter from Jim McPherson, which was written in the year 1914. So he traveled to Birdport and inquired the address given in the letter. To his surprise, he found one house already burnt in fire. Some neighbors told him that Mrs. Coney is in nursing home. He even went to nursing home to meet Mrs. Coney. He was determined to pass the message from Jim McPherson to Mrs. Coney. Once he stepped into the nursing home or hospital, the nurses were surprised to see a visitor for Mrs. Coney. The nurses advised the author that the condition of Mrs. Coney is not very great, so he has to be very careful and cautious while meeting. The author went and saw Mrs. Kenny. Mrs. Kenny is a 101 years old lady sitting in a wheelchair. The author went and introduced himself to Mrs. Kenny. Mrs. Kenny's face was completely blank at the beginning, but when author showed the letter written by Jim McPherson to Mrs. Coney, her eyes lit with happiness and bright. But Mrs. Coney, at the age of 101 years, believed that the person who is standing in front of her is her husband. She touched the face of the author and said that she was very happy to meet him again. So this is a story of the best Christmas present in the world. Now you all have to tell me what is the best Christmas present in this story and who has got the best Christmas present. With this, I have completed the gist of the story. I hope you have understood the gist of the story. You open your textbook and start reading the lesson. You have to practice loud reading. The reason to practice loud reading is if you don't practice reading English, you cannot speak well. So you need to practice. So you have to practice loud reading first. Once you complete loud reading, now you practice silent reading. But while you are practicing silent reading, read the text slowly, and if you come across any difficult words, underline it and refer to good dictionary and find the meaning of that word. I am going to ask you meaning of 3 different words from part 1. So be ready, be prepared. Once you complete silent reading, then come to comprehension check 1, read the questions under the comprehension check 1 and find the answers in the part 1. Once you complete finding answers to the comprehension check 1 questions, then read the second part in the same way. First practice loud reading, then practice silent reading. While reading, if you find any difficult words, underline those difficult words, refer to good dictionary and find the meaning and uses of the particular words. And then come to the comprehension check 2, read the questions and find out the answers in the part 2 of the textbook. Once you complete comprehension check 2, then come to comprehension check 3 and read the questions given under the comprehension check 3 and find out the answers given in the part 3 of the textbook. So what I am doing is, I am going to give you homework for the entire week. Today you are going to complete the part 1 of the text, and next day you have to complete the part 2 of the next, and another day you have to complete part 3 of the text. You have to complete the text in the following method. First, practice loud reading, then silent reading, then underline the difficult words, refer to dictionary, find the meaning of the words, come back to the text, completing the text, come to the comprehension check questions, read the comprehension check questions one by one and find out the answers to the comprehension check questions one by one and complete that part. In this way, you have to complete the entire lesson. So the name of the lesson is The Best Christmas Present in the World. But before I sign off from YouTube, if you have any doubts, you are free to call me, and if you are free to ask me any questions in WhatsApp. So I welcome you all to leave your comments in the comment section below so that I can understand what kind of doubts you are having in your mind and with what kind of expectations you have watched this entire video. Thanks for watching this video.